I'm Jim Sheehan. I'm the president of the Friends of Western Art, so we have another good crowd this evening, so thank you for joining us. Eric's going to introduce our guests shortly, but I want to thank Gerry for hanging with us. He was originally scheduled in the spring of 2020, and we all knew what happened then. He was also on our slate for 2021, which was the season that never was. And then this year he was to be our February speaker, but that changed when we inserted the tribute to Bill Mooney. So, Gerry, thank you for your patience, understanding, and flexibility. We're glad you can join us this evening. This is our next to last First Tuesday. Our next one is Tuesday, May 3rd, here at the MO Club. This will be the remix of the Tucson 7 video that was originally produced 25 years ago in conjunction with a 65 painting show featuring Howard Turpinning, Tom Hill, Bob Kuhn, Harley Brown, Dwayne Byers, Ken Riley, and Don Crowley. So it's been re-edited, digitized, and we hope you'll enjoy it because there's only 2 of those guys left, and we go back and see them speak about their work and what they were doing back there. I want to let you know we're also working on a full slate of programs for next year. It'll be anchored by our annual barbecue out at the Fulford's Ranch next April, plus 8 First Tuesdays. We start in October and run through May. And then we've got another special event scheduled for October 15th. Less than a barbecue, more than a First Tuesday. So we'll be more news about that, but stay tuned. That being said, I'd like to introduce my friend and colleague, Dr. Eric Caldwell, the president and CEO of the Ameren.
Thank you. This is so exciting. It's so exciting to be out in public, and it's so exciting to see all your faces. It's been too long. It's been too long. Thanks for having us out tonight. I'm going to rattle off a few things that might be of interest to this crowd that Ameren's doing, but before I do that, I think the thing that would be most interesting to this crowd is the Friends of Western Art Ameren joint exhibition, The Horse. How many of you got a chance to go out and see it? Oh, just a few. Did you like it? Okay. So I just want to remind you that it's on exhibit through the end of May, and Amy, note here very soon about our barbecue. Our luncheon. So that luncheon is going to be on Saturday, May 21st at the Ameren. You'll have information on how to sign up. It's a chance to see the exhibit privately. We closed down the gallery, so you guys are the only ones who get to see it and enjoy it. And then we serve a beautiful luncheon up on the Fulton House patio. And by that time, I think our roses will be in bloom. Those are named in honor of our founding lady, Rose Hayden Fulton. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. Some other things that might be of interest to you at Ameren. So this weekend is a plein air painting workshop, and there's still some spaces available. That's with the Pascua Yaqui landscape artist, Maria Arballo. She's also taught for the Drawing Studio and other locations here in Tucson. So if you're interested, check out her website, talk to me afterwards. She's going to be teaching on both Saturday and Sunday. And the subject matter is the Ameren's campus. So that should be quite lovely. One of our free online talks is happening April 23rd with Bernard Siqueiros of the Tona'ahatlan Nation. He's a member of our board of directors and an Tona'ahatlan elder. He's going to be talking about A'atlan history and place. On April 30th, in conjunction with the Loft Cinema, if you have some kids or grandkids that you'd like to take out, we're going to have a night movie showing on our campus. How many of you have seen not the last 3:10 to Yuma, but the 3:10 to Yuma before that? The 3:10 to Yuma before that has a happy ending. The last 3:10 to Yuma had a really bummer ending. The one before that was really very happy. It's great, family-friendly fare. And it was filmed, among other places, Sedona and Old Tucson Studios, but it was also filmed at Ameren. So you'll be at Ameren, you'll be out on the grounds, we'll be showing the movie at night, the museum's free and open to the public that evening, and you will be seeing our boulders on the big screen. So think about that. That's the night of April 30th from 7 to 9 p.m. Let's see. Then we have all throughout this month, Dwayne Moctama, if you would raise your hand. Dwayne's been a speaker in this series before. He's a member of our board of directors. You know that his jewelry is jaw-droppingly beautiful, and he's an artist in residence again. He's also a member of our board of directors now. Thank you, Dwayne. And he's holding open studio hours right now through the month of May. So come out and visit with Dwayne, see what he's up to, see the things that he's creating. He's also going to give a talk in our online series that's free to everybody in the world to come and see on May 28th. And it's going to talk about the history of jewelry as created by indigenous peoples in the American Southwest. So that's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things, exciting things happening. So we have a new exhibit opening in Easter in conjunction with the Raíces Taller Gallery here in Tucson. We're going to have a 15-artist show, more contemporary art show. Then Priscilla Ticini, the beautiful Navajo photography artist, she has a show that's coming in at the end of this month, and her pieces are available for sale, only in these very last few weeks of her show. That's worth it to come and see those. They're beautiful, they're stunning. They're just stunning. You can see some of those images on our website. And then once Priscilla's show comes down, we're going to do a show of Hopi quilts. Who would have donated Hopi quilts to the Ameren? That would be Carolyn O'Biggie Davis. Carolyn, a significant scholar of Hopi quilting and quilting in general by indigenous peoples of the Southwest, made a massive donation to the International Quilt Museum. And some of the pieces, she said to me, these need to stay in Arizona. And so she gave a set of them to the Ameren. And we're going to exhibit those in May. They will be up if you come to the Friends of Western Art Lunch in May.
Eric?
Yeah.
Also Carolyn's birthday today?
Today? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Carolyn, happy birthday to you. Thanks for being here on your special day, Carolyn. Thank you. Let's see, so the Hopi quilts are going to go up, and then the Sonoran Plein Air Painters are going to have a show this summer. It's an exciting time to come and see them. Foundation. Before Gerry gets up here, we may want to look into that.
Gerry's got his own.
Gerry has his own? Okay. All right, so without further ado, Gerry Quotskuyva has done a one-man show at the Ameren. He's been an artist in residence at the Ameren. He has taken awards. He's featured in different documentaries and in books of his artwork. He's had an over 40-year career. He's an award-winning carver. He also works in a lot of other media. If you saw his show, you saw paintings, you saw bronzes, just an incredible vision of creativity. And I'm so excited that he relocated the studio to Tucson. And I'm so honored that he agreed to speak here tonight in the Friends of Western Art series in conjunction with the Ameren. Gerry.
First off, to me, it's a birthday gift having Carolyn's birthday, being here, giving a presentation with Carolyn. Years ago in Sedona, I actually was inspired when her book came out in the video to do an exhibit. I had a gallery in Sedona at the time, and it turned out to be a wonderful exhibit in which we had, I think it was over 50 quilts, and we had a California king that was a Sawako. So it was a wonderful experience for me, tagging on to the success that she was having at the moment. Thank you very much for being here. Anyway, since we've been fattened up now out there eating the dinner, I guess my objective will be to keep yourself as well as everybody here as well as myself awake. This is normally my bedtime. I grew up in the contemporary world. I grew up in Flagstaff. And I used to hear stories about these supernatural beings when we'd go visit our family out on the reservation. And it was never a part of my life until the latter part, until I was in my 30s, in which I finally was initiated and began to become more active within the responsibilities and roles of the Hopi people. And as a result, my admiration for their way of life and their struggles and sustainability and remaining independent really kind of explained my character. I didn't understand myself very well and went through a lot of struggles, but as I got to know the people and the stories, heard the stories and everything, my admiration, not only for their way of life, but an understanding what became very strong. And it was in my mid-30s when I first started becoming an artist. Prior to that, I used to do some artwork, but I never really considered myself an artist. I did beadwork and painted. One of my first actual participation pieces in the exhibit was the children's show at the Museum of Northern Arizona, in which I had done a piece that totally did not reflect Native American art, but even though I was like in the 5th grade, I did a piece on my concern for the environment. And it was a sketch of a production facility with all the smoke coming out of the pipes. And I didn't like it and I threw it away, but the instructor pulled it out of the trash, and when I went to go to the show there at the Museum of Northern Arizona, there it was. I was like, to see it. So I guess it was kind of like the beginning of what became a life and a career, not only as an artist, but with the opportunity to share what my world is about and what I've grown to love and admire. As I mentioned, I'm Hopi and I come from the second Mesa village of Shimopavi. I'm a member of the Bear Strap clan, and I had seceded from Shimopavi to claim land over in Kikotsmovi, which I recently gave up a few years ago because I decided that I will never be living out there, and as the population continues to grow, I didn't want to be taking up land that somebody else could be using. I also kind of follow that edict with respect to my artwork. I don't show my artwork out there because I know the people struggle really with surviving and taking care of their families and everything. So I hope this thing is working. There we go. The Hopi Reservation originally was comprised of about 15 million acres, but with the Spanish invasion, the European invasion, and then eventually what I call the Navajo invasion, we're down to about 400 acres. We've lost a lot of land. At one time, I used to have atlases, and at one time there was a section that we lost to the Navajo people, and eventually it went all the way around to where we're completely engulfed with, encased, I would say, within the Navajo reservation. So I call it the donut hole of the reservations out there. And but it's still a beautiful place. It's just absolutely amazing how these people have managed to survive since around the 15th century, living in a very arid desert area. And as climate changes have occurred, I'm watching the fields. They're really struggling in growing their crops and everything. But we are known as dry farmers, and essentially, if you're born Hopi, I always say you're born with a paintbrush in one hand and a hoe in the other, because at a very young age you're being taught about agriculture and how to raise crops in such a dry area. The other thing I like to say a lot is that we were the original New Agers, because we would go out and plant our crops in the spring and then just sing and dance all summer long for the rains to come. So it is a beautiful place to be with a lot of different ceremonial. This is one of the older villages here, and is considered to be the oldest continually inhabited township in the United States. This is Old Arriby, and that's where my family comes from. My grandfather, I think he was around 90 years old when I showed him a map of the village one day, and it really sparked a lot of memories as a child. And he was talking about how he used to play and jump off of the roofs from house to house. And in the old days, it used to be you literally could get from one end of the village to the other without ever touching the ground. And I remember as a child, we would quite often want, when we went to visit, we all wanted to sleep on the rooftops. And those homes, when they were built like that, their roofs were real heavy thatch and thick. So unlike modern homes today, you never knew when somebody was running across your roof. And there would be herds of children at night just running all over. It's like we wouldn't get to bed till sunrise, you know? It's like we had to act like we were asleep all night long. But it was such a wonderful childhood. Back then life was safe, and it was not uncommon for us to take off from our village and hitchhike to one of the other villages as little children, 5, 6 years old. And somehow the families kept in touch and they knew what was going on, so it's like we decided we're gonna go over here and spend the night with our grandmothers, and they would know. It's like nobody was worried about us or was concerned. So the world out there is really, they do have a different perspective entirely. And in the case of this village here, you can see a little path going in, and this is way back before automobiles and everything like that. And that was the plaza where they would hold the ceremonies. And we were also, you might say, the first high-rise developers in the United States. You can see here with a 3-story building. And this is the village of Walpi. And this also is considered one of the oldest inhabited townships in the United States. So we have been known to be here for a long time. In fact, this village here, they still don't have any utilities there. Just to the right of this trail that goes on to that point, there is a building where everybody can go to take showers and get their water and everything, and they haul it back and forth. The village is still very active. There's only a few people living there, but they do make sure that when it comes ceremonial time, all the members of the clans that are from that village will hold the ceremonies there. So it's not uncommon to see this point here with literally thousands of people standing on the roofs and everything watching ceremonies. And buildings are hundreds of years old.